Hey y'all. So just a few minutes ago, I was listening to Word of God Speak by Mercy Me, and I just realized that sometimes I'm at such a loss for words, literally. So if throughout this video you see me kind of think, then yeah, I'm at a loss for words, and yeah. So basically, I'm gonna talk about insecurities. So this is big for me, and I think this is big for a lot of girls. It's pretty normal. I talked about last week about beauty, and I guess this is kind of like a part two of that. Um, it's basically just today. I I was having lunch with my grandmother, and this girl took our picture, and I was like, and my grandmother showed me the picture, and I was like, oh no, like like when your mom or your dad or whoever takes your picture, and you're like, okay, well, don't post it on Facebook, unless I see it. Well, uh, I looked at that picture today, and I felt so insecure, and I think it's so hard sometimes when you don't see yourself the way that God sees you, and it's amazing because no matter what you may be going through, here I'm going to talk about some of the insecurities in my life, not just specifically talking about beauty, but through different areas of my life that I've dealt with. So one, I'm going to talk about beauty again. So today, yeah, I was feeling really low, and I looked at that picture and I just didn't like it. I was like, God, I'm so fat, Like I was telling him this. I was like, God, you know, why am I this way? Why? I mean, I just feel like I'm so big, and I didn't feel confident in myself. I didn't see myself through the way that God's, sees me, and I realized, like, man, we're made in God's image. That's amazing. And I talked about this last week, but it needs to be reinforced because it's so important to know your worth. Girls and even boys, know your worth. Know that you were made for so much more in this life. And the thing is, Satan's going to try. He's going to try to hurt you. He's going to try to put things in your life and people in your life who are, going to have their opinions of you and say that you're not enough, and these people in this world say you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too this, you're too much, whatever it is. Look, you're enough because God created you and He has this purpose for you. So know your worth, know that you're beautiful. So my second insecurity that I was dealing with is about my future. I got really stressed out. I'm 18 now, so it's big for me, and I've been homeschooled since I was fourth grade. So I'm thinking about college, and that stresses me out, being away from home in the next few years maybe. So that just came to my mind, and I was really stressing out about it. And I was like, God, I got really frustrated, to be honest with you. I got frustrated at God. I was like, God, I don't hear you. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. I don't know if it needs to be singing. I don't know if it needs to be acting. I don't know if it needs to be photography. I don't know if it needs to be writing. I don't know. I just got really frustrated. I'm like, God, I'm so thankful that you've given me so much, and it's so amazing. You just find out more about yourself and what God has placed in you. But I got so overwhelmed with what He's given me. I'm like, I don't know which route to take, and it's so hard sometimes. And people will say, what are you gonna do with your life? What do you want to do? You gotta start now. You gotta do this, and you gotta start right now. But it's really hard, when you have no way of sense of direction, and that's what I've really been really insecure about lately. I'm like, I don't understand, and I've had a lot of anxiety about it, and it's been really, really hard. So, know that you don't have to figure everything out. Your future is already planned by God, and that's amazing. He has great things for you. He has this, excuse me, he has this, this magnificent plan He specifically placed for you, and He placed inside of you, and He said, hey, I got something for you. Just hold on. Listen to me. I will guide you to where I want you to be. Wherever that means, just listen to my voice. And sometimes that's so hard when you hear the opinions of others and they're spitting it out, and it's like your mind's blocked. You can't hear God through all the chaos and through all the mess that Satan's distracting you. He's distracting you so much. Take time during your day. Say, okay, God, just take a breath. Sometimes it just takes a breath and say, all right, I'm going to listen to you. Guide me, Lord. And He will. I promise you. I promise you. Oh my gosh. And another area of my life, I'm trying to think, I had it written down. Oh, right. It was about being single. I've posted a lot of videos right about beauty and about being in a relationship, about my anxiety, and those three are what I'm really, really struggling with lately. So basically, in being single, I've had struggle, and I've struggled. I'm like, God, I don't understand. Like, why don't guys notice me? Why, what am I doing wrong? Or, what is it that is keeping me? I don't know how to explain this, but just feeling really, really, really sad about it, and just being really insecure because I was like, well, God, so many people in relationships, and it's so hard, to think about that. And it's like, well, I just don't understand it. But know that each season of your life, every season that you go through, they're meant to teach you this lesson. They're meant to mold you and to craft you. And sometimes, He's going to mold you and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, and you're going to go through the fire and you're going to say, man, God, this hurts. But when you get out, you'll realize you've become something beautiful, and He molded you into this beautiful diamond that you've always been. But sometimes we like to hold on to things, right? We like to hold on to past, and we think, or we want to follow our own plans. And so we have all this selfishness and all this anger and all this confusion and anxiety and sadness and depression and all these things. These are evil. They're demonic spirits, and they're meant to distract you from the Lord. Sometimes you gotta say, okay, God, I'm giving this to you because I know that you have something for me. I don't understand it myself, but you know. You know it, and you love me, and you have these plans to prosper me and not to harm me. I have it in my room. It says Jeremiah 29:11, right? Is it 29:11? Yeah, it's Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you. So give your issues, give your problems to the Lord. Surrender it at the foot of the cross, and I promise you, you will see change. You will see it being written in each chapter, and you'll say, man, look at that. Look where I've come from this point to this point. You have the opportunity also to share your story, to be this light in this dark world. And I talked about that last video. You have that opportunity, but give it to God. Let go. Let Him mold you. And I promise you, you will be okay. So yeah, the beginning of this video, I really had no idea what I was going to talk about, but I'm so thankful, that, God has spoken to me about so much, and I really hope y'all like this video, and I guess I'll see y'all next week.